Wolff's brutal comment after Red Bull poaching staff. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff reignites Red Bull feud with jibe about rivals poaching staff. The Mercedes boss says that staff switching between F1 teams is normal, but his team don't put out a press release every time it happens, unlike rivals Red Bull. So what is this entire feud about, and what has Wolff commented about Red Bull staff? Let's dig deeper into it. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has continued his feud with rivals Red Bull and Christian Horner by making a jibe about his rivals putting out press releases when staff move across the paddock. Earlier this year, Red Bull chief Helmut Marko said that something like 50 members of Mercedes staff had left their rivals to join his manufacturer. This came after Marko's team set up their own engine unit, Red Bull-Powertrains. For their new project, Red Bull recruited a new team of staff, including Mercedes members Ben Hodgkinson and Phil Prue, along with a host of other personnel from their rivals. The staff exodus was helped by the fact there is only 30 miles between Red Bull based in Milton Keynes and Mercedes' home in Brackley, and Mercedes boss Wolff said the movement of staff between F1 teams is normal before firing a dig at his rivals. Wolff told Motorsport.com it's completely normal. We also have these movements from other power unit manufacturers, although we don't issue a press release for them every time that happens. This is an open market, and there are these movements between teams. German manufacturer Audi are set to join the F1 circus in 2026 and are reportedly set to partner with Alfa Romeo, which could result in more Mercedes staff moving across the paddock. We haven't lost anyone to Audi yet, but there will be situations where some of the Mercedes or ex-Mercedes people will go to Audi. There's no doubt about that, Wolff added. He also said, I think the biggest competition is and was Red Bull, because they're just around the corner. I think there's a bigger hurdle to changing power unit manufacturers when it comes to moving to Germany, so that's definitely not something that worries me the most. Wolff also thinks that the introduction of a cost cap teams can spend on power units will become important in the future. Mercedes and Red Bull have formed a feisty rivalry over the few years. One can often see Toto Wolff, Christian Horner, and Helmut Marko taking digs at each other. The rivalry turned quite ugly last year, and the controversial decision, which possibly robbed Lewis Hamilton of his 8th title, was no help. Now Toto has once again taken a dig at Red Bull. To give some background, in April, Helmut Marko reported that around 50 members of the Mercedes camp left to join Red Bull's powertrains division. Talking to Motorsport.com, Toto Wolff made sure he didn't let the opportunity slip to take a jibe at Red Bull. He said it's completely normal. We also have these moments from other power unit manufacturers, although we don't issue a press release for them every time that happens. Moreover, the Mercedes boss simply cites the location as one of the reasons for the personnel change. The Mercedes base in Brackley and Red Bull's base in Milton Keynes is separated by just 30 miles. The Austrian believes that people in search of a new challenge can simply jump ships between the two constructors. With Audi entering the frame in the future, Toto Wolff should be worried about keeping their current staff. But it seems that is not the case, as the Austrian is not anxious about Audi poaching their employees. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff not worried about Audi stealing troops from them. Despite winning 8 championships on the trot, Toto Wolff is wary of Audi's brilliant record in motorsports. The Mercedes boss brings up Audi's performance at Le Mans over the years and believes that the German giant will be a serious competitor for Mercedes. However, he does not see a lot of his team leaving to go to the fellow German manufacturer. Toto said, "We haven't lost anyone to Audi yet, but there will be situations where some of the Mercedes members or ex-Mercedes will go to Audi. There's no doubt about that. This is an open market, and between the teams there are these moves." Subsequently, Toto claimed that the arrival of Audi was a good thing for F1 in general. He further complimented F1's pull of attracting the best brands in the world. With not much joy in this season, Mercedes are still waiting for their first win of the season. The only consolation for the Brackley-based constructors is to win a race and finish above rival Ferrari at the end of the season. However, that hasn't taken away Toto's wit, as he lashed a savage dig at his rivals. Another news about Toto is that he feels Red Bull-Porsche link-up would have been great for F1. Mercedes F1 boss Toto Wolff feels sorry that the Red Bull-Porsche deal fell apart. The Austrian was convinced that a brand like Porsche would have been a great addition to F1. Wolff was full of praise for the German manufacturers and believed the deal would have been fruitful for F1, saying the Red Bull-Porsche deal rumors had been doing the paddock rounds for quite some time now. The agreement was that the partnership would be based on equal terms. Consequently, Porsche wanted to partner with the team in addition to securing a 50% shareholding in Red Bull Technologies. The Austrian outfit, though, did not wish to give up control of their team. Instead, the outfit offered Porsche the opportunity to invest in its new powertrains program. Nevertheless, the deal ultimately fell apart, with the two parties agreeing to cease further talks. Toto Wolff, however, feels that this decision could prove to be fatal for Red Bull. Most importantly, the Mercedes boss felt sad that the opportunity to fight against Porsche has been missed. Mercedes boss supports teams entering F1 with engine suppliers. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has staunchly opposed Andretti Motorsport's entry into F1, claiming that the team could not add any value to the sport. Wolff also voiced concerns over the revenue division if Andretti was to enter F1. He pointed out that the revenue, currently divided between 10 teams, will be diluted after an 11th team enters. In the case of a new engine supplier, however, the 50-year-old believes that the proposition can be considered. He said, "If a team comes with a new engine supplier and says that's what we want to do, then of course it's a completely different game and will trigger different considerations. That's the one point for me as a team owner. There's no problem dividing the pie when the pie is bigger." So far, many team bosses have voiced different concerns regarding the American outfit's entry. Amidst so many new brands trying to enter the sport, it will be interesting to see how things unfold. With the F1 camp divided into two parties over these decisions, it's difficult to predict anything. What's your favorite race of the 2022 season so far? And what do you think about all this? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Well, that's it from this video. We sincerely hope that you liked seeing this video. Please subscribe to our channel if you would like to see more of the stuff that we produce.